I am sure sports. You know me there, from coast to coast representing. I mean, I say this is righteous representing for Omar. You don't know, come get the sports over here from near and far. Boy. Me say I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. If me not sure, that me not say it. Know who score, that me not say it. Never know no game play, that me not say it. If me never seen a game, me not know who play. For your sports news, better come over here so. For your soccer news, then come over here so. If you don't love sports, still come over here so. For the day done, you are gonna love over here so.
So when it comes on to behavior concerning football, Jamaica is decent. I am sure that if we can get all of these things done, set in place by the end of April, it gives us enough time before the World Cup campaign. Not afraid of no Brazil, no Argentina with these crapper players. We are good enough. Remember to like, subscribe, share. Listen, comment, let me know what your thoughts are.
Trick Jerk Marinade gives your meats and vegetables authentic Jamaican jerk flavor. The spices are directly from Jamaica. Spices like jerk seasoning, allspice, Scotch bonnet pepper, fresh scallions, thyme, ginger, and garlic. The key ingredients to a great jerk marinade. 0% sugar and low in sodium. You want to try it?
Made up of 18 Jamaican herbs and spices. Add delicious, bold flavor to your next grilling experience. Flavoring sauce, a marinade, basting, condiment, or topping. Trick Nick Jerk Barbecue Sauce.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
I can't hear you, Cataract. Welcome to I Am Sure Sports. Again, man is away providing national team duty. So, Cataract and I, is that Cataract? Why are you dressed like a schoolboy? I could barely recognize you. My co-host Cataract. What's going on this morning, Cataract?
Good morning. This is I Am Sure Sports. And due to official duties by the channel owner, who is with the Reggae Boys in a management capacity, unfortunately, you have to hear a Trini accent on this Jamaican channel.
I think that's fortunately.
and you and I know that today is going to be a hot show. But I'm prepared. I've come dressed in my buttoned up shirt. The schoolboy look, he calls it. But it's the day that the Lord has made. And as long as we give thanks for life. And as long as we have life, we have health. And as long as we have health, we have strength and hope. Big up all of the man in the chat. It's going to be a robust show today, no doubt. As we look at the Nations League results, I didn't watch the game. I was too depressed. And of course, I'm sure sports, but I'm sure that my good friend who supports the Soca Warriors will have a lot to say about the happenings in Austria. The Reggae Boys going down 2-1 to Qatar. And, well, really, Trinidad is not playing any games, so we have nothing to say about them. But maybe there was a press conference or two or news filtering in for our good friends from the Caribbean. Welcome, one and all. This is an international show. Let's get the ball rolling.
That's good. That's a good intro. You say things sometimes that make someone have to respond. I try to avoid it, but Trinidad is not playing any games. Trinidad wasn't playing any games 2 months ago when we arrived in Jamaica. So That seems to work in our favor. I'm not so sure if that's correct. But let's start with the Reggae Girlz. I don't know much about that story. I think you know a little idea about it, but I think you probably would be more versed in that regard. What's the situation with the Reggae Girlz?
Ah, Lord. I think what the JFF ought to do is record these things and put it out as a Netflix show and get some money, because there is more drama in the Reggae Girlz than on any Bollywood or African soap opera.
Is it drama or mix up?
Mix up and blend, drama, pasa,
Everything.
everything in one. What we have is that, and you know, there has been a sort of acrimonious relationship between the Reggae Girlz. I believe that they feel that they're second-class citizens, or they're treated as second-class citizens, even though they have now qualified for back-to-back World Cups. And we, as the fans, I'm not a women's football aficionado. I've been dragged out to a game or two to support the girls, so I don't know the players intimately. But we follow and hear the situations. The treatment of the girls has left a lot to be desired. Mix up in some travel plans when they were coming, I think, from Mexico, and the logistics arrangements. Now, it came to a head where they wrote and asked for the removal of the then head coach. The JFF's technical committee, headed by Mr. Rudolph Speed, who is often a guest presenter of this show, didn't agree, and they recommended to retain the coach, and the girls went up in arms. Subsequently, good sense prevailed, and the coach stepped down, and Mr. Lorne Donaldson took over at the helm and guided the young and older girls to World Cup qualification in a comfortable manner. Now, the expectation at the time was that we would not make the same mistakes again. In fact, there were to be sufficient friendly games, practice games, that the girls would get to gel and be in peak competition mode going into the World Cup in Australia and New Zealand. What has transpired is that no game, no play. And the young ladies, headed by their captain, very vocal, Khadijah Bunny Shaw, the star of Manchester City, now take the check, because once you get a taste of the pie, you can't go back to just eating the regular tutti frutti bubble gum. And the treatment in Manchester City, I believe, and the professionalism that is there, she finds it lacking in the Jamaica Football Federation. One thing, though, the girls have a camaraderie, and the captain speaks on behalf of the players. Recently, there was to be a tour of the United Kingdom, a two-game friendly. I think it might have been against Cameroon in Leicester City. And what transpired was a debacle, where the support staff, some members of the support staff, or most of the members of the support staff, were not able to travel to the United Kingdom due to the Nana visa issue. Nana visa. And this is gonna become a recurrent theme, Andre, the Nana visa. Now, they had to, you're muted, Andre.
Yeah, I said I'm gonna have to learn that one.
Nana, Nana visa.
Nana visa.
Yeah, Nana visa. And the Leicester City backroom staff, medics, masseuse, fitness trainers, physios, they graciously came on board. I'm sure at a nice fee that would have cost a pretty penny. We, Mr. Jensek, we'd like to know those costs. And the General Secretary and the President of the Jamaica Football Federation, Mr. Mike Ricketts, left up and flew over there to the United Kingdom and had a crisis talk, emergency meetings with the girls, at which time certain promises and commitments were made that the Nana happen again. Nana happen again. And it happened. In the subsequent international FIFA window, the girls were made to understand that they would have no games and called to a camp. Now, this is unacceptable by any means and stretch of the imagination. And on this channel, even though Manning's Man is temporarily a part of the JFL, we respectfully speak our mind and we call it as we see it, Andre.
Well, I think it's fair to say, look, when we mentioned the JFL, but Manning's Man actually is serving Jamaica, right?
Yes, he's serving Jamaica.
He's serving the country of Jamaica. But let me ask you this, because I don't want to get wrapped up in JFF business because we have our own issues. I think in Trinidad and in the region, and things happen in life on a daily basis. But we seem to hear the same things happening over. It's not new problems. It's the same problems happening over and over in the region with the federations when it comes to travel. And I remember the very first interview that I did on this, my contention was, and still is, as someone who works with young people too, is that if the players, the young people, are placed at the center of the process, if they are the priority, do you not think that would reduce the problems that we face over and over again?
No, I think it's deeper than that. I think it's deeper than that, and we really have to get to the bottom of it.
Well, if they're at the center, like for someone with kids, if you have kids, you want the best for your kids, so you do whatever you have to do to make sure that you give them the best that you could afford.
Yes,
right?
But what if your best is just not good enough?
For your own kids, well, then you will work harder. You will find a way. You will. I think. Look, if we have transportation problems this time, I think most normal environments would say, okay, what was the problem? What caused the problem? And then we'll fix it, and we'll work to make sure it doesn't happen again.
Nana visa.
The visa thing comes up
to the point where at yesterday's post-match press conference, and I'm going to speak a little bit about that and ask the persons in authority, plead with them respectfully. Don't try that with Qatar again. Please, don't do that. I am a accredited member of the media landscape in Jamaica, representing Dre Anyweather Sports and I Am Show Sports. Treat man with respect. Okay. Now,
but before you go,
hold on. When we the question that I asked, I was allowed to ask a second question.
Right.
I asked about Ronaldo Ciafas, Arnett Garden, domestic-born winger who was on fire in Europe. One of those who transitioned from the Jamaica Football Premier League to a first-tier team in Europe. The man could have walked come a match in Austria. Him could have literally walked come at the match. And to be told that CFS was considered but could not take up the call up because him nana Schengen visa. It's one of the it upset me to the core. And I tell you why. I didn't take it up with the coach because he's not responsible for visa and logistics arrangements. But I'm awaiting the General Secretary's appearance back on this channel to answer to those questions. He honor tech man for fool. The player a play in a Europe. We see player play. Sofa Score has the player playing. Transfer Market has the player playing in Europe. And you don't tell we say him not a visa? So how CFS get there? Banana boat?
There must be more. There must be more to that. There must be more to that. It just seemed, you know, if he's in Europe, it just seems like that cannot be the reason why he was not there. It just cannot be.
It can't.
Yeah, it just cannot be the reason. But was the coach? Is it a player that the coach is interested in?
Well, he said yes, and he said he wanted to have him in the squad, and he even went on to say it would have been cost effective because he is actually the closest player to Austria by location.
Right. So look, KS is saying here, the issues are mainly resources and competence, and we lack both. What do you think when you summarize everything that happens on a daily, weekly, and monthly basis in the federation? Do you think that the answers lies in that statement?
So I wanna hold that question. I just want to respond on this touch one, but don't lose it. I'm gonna ask you to repeat it. I want to say there is no straight flight from Jamaica to Macedonia. So he would have had to land and in transit in a country that requires a Schengen visa. Man, I'm no idiot. Me travel around the world and play a song. Even if he doesn't need a visa for the country where he's in, a Schengen visa, in order to get to that country, he would have had to go through one of the major ports, France, Spain, Germany, to get a connecting flight out of Jamaica. He left from Jamaica.
I think there's a question that the player himself could answer, right?
Tech man for monkey.
Don't do that, Qatar.
No more monkey business. And we are in matching colors. No more monkey business. No more monkeying around. He's here for a reason. I'm depressed, man. But I don't want to stray too far. Go ahead and pose that question again. So
KS is suggesting that the issues are mainly, he's saying that the issues are mainly resources and competence, and we lack both. And I don't know, when you say resources, I don't know specifically what type of resource is he talking about.
Human resources, financial resources,
competence, and we lack both. Do you think that the problems that is faced over and over again, do you think it lies in that statement?
No.
Okay, what do you think? What do you think the problem is?
And here, for example, the problem cannot be resources when the player who is closest to the away venue is not present in the squad, and it's not a footballing or injury reason.
Well, resources could mean, it doesn't have to be finances, right? It could be the know-how, it could be intellectual capacity, it could be expertise, it could be...
Which is why I would ask Case to expound a bit on what he means by resources. But Brian Mighton, I don't profess to be a visa expert, but a Schengen visa allows you to travel throughout the European Union. It is an instrument of cross-border travel that allows visitors not to have to apply for a visa for each country. So there's not different types of Schengen visa. There is just one Schengen visa. So you don't need a visa for France, a visa for Germany, a visa for Spain, a visa for Portugal, a visa for Belgium, a visa for Moldova, and a visa for Austria. It is one visa instrument that allows you to travel freely throughout the European Union. And I'm saying that I'm going to ask these questions because I'm wondering if some man just tell the coach some things, because the coach proffered that as the reason why Kemar Lawrence was not with the squad. But Kemar Lawrence did not play in Belgium last year. Okay, the visa might be up, but as you know, Andre, a first-time applicant for a visa is often more lengthy as they do their checks and their balances and stuff. When you go to renew, it's a quicker process. You're on file, they have your fingerprint, your police record, and all of these matters. Not a good look.
It's I wish KS would, rephrase this question and clarify what it means by resources, because a lot of times, and this is one of the things, when you hear of these issues and you discuss them with people in the region, oftentimes it's sung as though the blame is placed elsewhere, as though it's somebody else is the reason why the visas aren't granted in a timely manner and that kind of stuff. And it's something that...
Go ahead. Fabian Full, I'm going to address you, but go ahead, sir. Sorry.
It's something that we need to get our hands on. I mean, you have the Reggae Girlz getting ready to go to the World Cup. You have the Reggae Boys getting ready to go to the Gold Cup. I think, from the outside looking in, both teams seem to be in a very good situation. And here you have all these things happening again that could affect negatively the way they perform, right? So what needs to change? What is the resources that he's talking about?
You pose a good question, and I want to get the facts, because apparently someone understand what I say.
So KS saying it's both competence of individuals involved with the administration with the requisite skill sets to execute their responsibilities and funding to effectively, sufficiently support the program.
So Kemar Lawrence played in Belgium up to the end of the 2021 season. He transferred in May 2021. So it's 2 years to the date. Sorry, not 3 years, but 2 years to the date. And does that really make a difference to what I'm saying? I'm saying that having gotten a Schengen visa and having gotten a work permit, he is not a new applicant. He is seeking to renew. And therefore, the process is less time-consuming and less intrusive, because certain basic things would be on file already. Them have your fingerprint. Your fingerprint don't change, right? So I'm not sure, Fabian Full, what you're trying to say, fresh God. So if he played there 2 years ago, is it a difference? It's still the fact that the man had a visa. I don't know how long Schengen visas last, but visas are not 1 week documents. A United States visa is 10 years. I am presuming, because he left, so fresh God, make a reason this. He left Belgium prematurely, right? Because he was saying he had family issues. So I am presuming that he would have had a visa for the full duration of his contractual period. Don't try challenge me. I'm not in the mood this morning. You understand what I'm saying, Andre?
Yeah, but it might be, it can be, it's possible that if he left prematurely, that the visa to be there, if he left Europe totally, the visa might be canceled, the work permit might be canceled because it would be contingent on him having a contract.
Yes. So the work permit would be canceled.
Yeah.
They don't cancel a visa.
Right. Okay.
Right. So Peter Mystic, hear me again. Bless up yourself. And I thank. I may not be. Listen, KS. We travel go play a sound, brother. A Schengen visa 2 days something, 3 days something. It's not an intrusive process. As a matter of fact, Kemar is in the United States, where the process of getting the visa is easier to access. But look here. What I'm not asking anyone to take it as gospel, Boss Thomas. I'm not asking anyone to, okay. I'm not asking anyone to take it as gospel. What I'm saying to you is, show me a flight from Jamaica that goes directly to North Macedonia without stopping for within a country that needs a Schengen visa. Just show me that flight. And A.M. Henry, if I'm wrong, right? All visas last for a specific period. Only United States used to have something called a multiple indefinite, right? And it is valid for multiple entries because you can enter multiple countries within the time period of the visa. So A.M. Henry, I challenge you that there is no single entry that you can only enter one time. But what I'm saying is, I would like the facts from the General Secretary of the Jamaica Football Federation.
Yeah, I think
I'm not asking you to take it. You know what I mean? Okay, Fresh God. Ask the question again. Ask the question again.
You speaking with me?
No, yes. So go ahead, Andre.
No, I'm saying Peter Mystic said I just Googled and found this. North Macedonia is not part of the Schengen agreement. However, citizens from the Schengen country are able to visit North Macedonia for 15 days without a visa.
And here now where the story get wickeder. Rob Smith is saying that Taxi is an American citizen. They don't require Schengen visas. And I'm not saying that Coach Hallgrimsson is lying. I am saying Coach Hallgrimsson must be depending on information because Coach Hallgrimsson does not deal with administrative matters. Yeah, you understand what I'm saying, Andre?
Yeah.
So this is no indictment on the coach. The coach would have given his list of players, and then he would be provided with information as to why certain players are no-shows. So no, I do not think the coach is lying. But you show me where an American resident, permanent resident, as in a green card holder, needs to have a Schengen visa.
So
we move on.
There's a lot of moving parts here, and parts that we don't have information for, like when did the coach turn in his list, right? What is actually the situation surrounding the player that you're mentioning? There's a lot of speculation taking place in terms of what the facts might be, and I think without that, it's hard to say for sure what took place. But from my experience,
Andre, 1 second.
Hold on.
Go ahead. Finish. Go ahead.
If you're taking a team somewhere, if you're taking a team somewhere, you would have a list of players, and you would gather everything that is required to get into that country, and you would make sure that every player is aware of that. You would want to know who have and who doesn't have, because it's your squad. One of the first things you're going to say to players is make sure that their passport is valid for the length of time so you'll go through a whole list of things to find out what you have and what you need to get. So it's just amazing to me that these issues keep coming up in the region. We have someone is suggesting here is that where did it go? Where did it go? Where did it go? Cephas couldn't get the visa in time.
Right. We're being informed. So, but what I'm not querying whether Cephas could get the visa in time. What I'm asking is, weren't we told about made aware about this weeks ago? That this was the plan. So I just want the persons who are in management and who are in administration. This is not a coaching matter, right? But Kemar Lawrence, that doesn't answer the Kemar Lawrence question. And when the first press conference, I am sure that I heard the coach say Kemar Lawrence had an issue getting a Schengen visa.
You can't travel to Europe on a green card without the visa.
Okay. No, I'm not beating anybody, Pagan. I am asking simply why every time that there is a tournament or engagement for the Reggae Boys, the under 20s, the under 17s, the Reggae Girlz, we hear about visa issues. I'm simply inquiring. I'm asking the General Secretary to come forth and explain to us. And we got here, Andre, via the letter or the social media post by Captain Khadija Bunny Shaw about the disquiet in the Reggae Girlz camp.
Okay, this is the question here, right? This is the question. Why can't we get it right? Why can't we get it right? Because we all know.
I don't know.
We all know that it affects performance on the pitch. We all know that. Is it because the people responsible don't have the capacity to do the job? Well, both. We have a tremendous amount of resources, human resources, all around the world that would have the understanding of how to get some of these things done. So I think this is the question here. This is the most potent question. Why can't we get it right? Do we not want it to be right? Is it that because is it that we try to do things in a way that cut corners that cause it not to be right? I'm not so sure.
I don't know.
It's a difficult one to accept, to live with, to know that some of these things are very, very simple. Because you go to the website of any one of these countries and they lay out what you need to get. There was a time in the world when this information was hard to come by. Now we all walk around with this information in our hand. Jason is asking, does TNT Federation have these issues? Yes, they do. They do have these issues. Pagan is suggesting is corruption. Well,
no. That gone too far. You're gone too far.
I wouldn't go there with that because it's that would suggest people are sitting around and colluding to do things that you know. So what I'm saying,
are inimical to the football. No, I
think it takes a certain amount of brilliance to be corrupt. So if we can't get the little things right, I don't know if we could really be corrupt in that regard. But so I think it's a strong accusation to make against any of the MAs in the region. But why? What is the reason why?
We have to get it right.
Yeah, why can't we get it right?
We have to get it right. Reno FC, Taxi could have helped the squad because Amari Bell, who has played almost every minute for Luton Town, had to take on a 94-minute assignment, even having to go through the semifinals and finals of playoffs, right? So Taxi would have allowed Amari to be able to rest his weary legs. Big up Amari Bell, real soldier, machine man that just keeps going. So that is my view. So I'm not going to be dismissive over the non-inclusion of Kemar Lawrence. It means that Amari Bell will almost have to play the 2 games at left back and then go into the USA match.
So KS is saying the industrialized countries have adequate funding and abundance of intellectual capital. So they will not have these challenges. These countries allow easy movement of their people across countries. These countries allow easy movement of their people. Look, in regard to abundance of intellectual capital, we have guys that walks around proud that they have 6, 7, 8 A-level passes or whatever they call them. They went to these schools. Guys talk about the different degrees that they have. They went to school here and there. So I don't know, unless we are not receiving real education, I don't know that that's an excuse. I mean, there's got to be something else. We in the region, nothing comes before education, right? And we value our passes. Our whatever I know the names have changed, whether it's GCE or CXC in Trinidad or whatever. I'm not sure what they call it in Jamaica.
Yeah, same thing.
So is it, are we receiving a real education? I mean,
yes, we are, because we're able to do it in other endeavors. The track and field people them fly go a Diamond League.
So what is unique about football?
I don't know. And I'm saying I'm going to end this part of the discussion by saying we're going to try to reach out to Mr. Dennis Chung to have him answer some of the hard questions. It can't be that our girls who are going to represent this country, this proud country of 144 square miles.
Since you are King Qatar, and they your queens,
Yes,
are they not your queens?
when I want a queen of Jamaica, when I want a queen, we are moved to get a we are moved to get a president. Yeah, we are moved to get a president.
So let's look at the game yesterday. I know you watched the game.
Yes, I did. Did you watch the game?
Yes, I did watch the game.
Why?
Why? Because it's Jamaica.
Trinidad never have nothing to do. They never played a letter.
Hey, Jamaica is my brethren. I must watch the game. What are your thoughts about the game? I know you know, I heard the coach in his post-game interview said that of course every coach wants to win the game, and he didn't win the game, but it's part of a process in preparation for when the 3 points do matter. And obviously you look at the roster and you look at the list of names from the 50 names or so that was put together. Anybody that's paying attention would know that that's not Jamaica's full squad, that there's probably a few players that's going to come into that squad. But what are your thoughts about the performance?
Well, my thoughts echo the coach. He said it was I'm looking at I'm trying to find where the coach, the newspaper, for those who haven't read it, the headline was apt for me. It said, "Bad result, bad performance." Bad result, bad performance. And I think, the Jamaica Gleaner, bad result, bad performance. That was the headline. And the 2 negative headlines: JFF acknowledges false as girls slam federation. So that's what we're examining. And the other headline in the Observer says disorganized and unprofessional. So it's really a black eye for Jamaican football. waking up on this Friday afternoon, right? Stop the
most people wake up in the morning, you know.
Well, many in Jamaica don't wake up in the morning. It's a sad reality.
But it's part of a process. Is it really a black eye?
It is.
In what regard?
4 headlines in our 2 major daily newspapers and not one positive.
Well,
so but we're going to jump into the game because Pagan took us there. You know, so I echo the coach and let me take it from your perspective and my perspective. So I was expecting a positive result, right? I was not expecting Jamaica to get rolled over, dust out, or anything like that. And based on the signs going in, we were initially told that the 50-man roster was going to be trimmed down to a 30-man roster a 30-man squad that would go to Austria. And from the performances in Austria, the coach would name his 23-man, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was what was given to us. Reno FC, big up. You bought Amari Bell. Boy, Amari Bell, you are the man, brother. You are the man. Reno FC, I rate that you there, but you say you're a socialist, I can't have a little bell for my back, brother. I can't have bell for my back. So we have to name him Amari Trumpet. So here's the thing. So the signs were not encouraging, right? What we were made to understand is that the 23 players who would form the squad would be in Austria together, play 2 games together, and get some sort of gelling and chemistry.
So you expected Mikel Antonio to be there, you expected Leon Bailey to be there, and all of the guys that were missing, you expected them to be there?
Yes. However, the coach gave credible rationale and reasons why certain players were not there. Mikel Antonio did have an extended season, but also so did Amari Bell. I put it to you, Amari Bell had more games at the end of the season. 2 semi-final games and 1 game that went to extra time in the finals of the championship, the richest game in the world, right? So I cannot, or no one can argue if you say that Leon Bailey and Bobby Reid remain with their clubs to get medical treatment because the facilities and the treatment there and the doctors, the club doctors, are familiar with their injury history and their recovery process. No argument there. Aston Villa, Fulham, take care of the ball of them, wrap them up in a cotton wool and send them over to Chicago, right? So I understand, but I'm just saying the signs were ominous. The question that I would ask is, what if we had beaten Mexico and were qualified for the semifinals that were played yesterday? Would we have turned up to the Nations League semifinals with a weakened squad or a full squad? Go ahead, Andre.
What you ask, and you're asking, that's a hypothetical, right? And I'm sure that if you use that hypothetical and you put it against the games that Jamaica is actually playing in Qatar, if the players had to make a choice to play against the United States in a Nations League semifinal match, these players probably would have made the sacrifice. Right? Do you agree with that? They probably would have made the sacrifice. But if they need extra rest. Look, in a normal window, how much time does the coach have to prepare the team?
2
He
or
gets
3
about
days.
4 days,
Yeah.
right? He gets about 4 days. This is an extended window, it's a tournament. I think most coaches would like to have the players for the extended, but he also wants for the extended period of time, but he also wants to have them for the entire tournament. What if they came in early, they go to Qatar, they didn't get the rest they needed, and then they are injured, and you don't have them for the tournament? So I think sometimes we got to look at all aspects of the situation. I know as fans, you wanted a result yesterday, and if you look at the game was. Is it fair to say that the game was pretty even outside of two major areas in the wide area of the pitch, where we were unable to stop, players from getting in behind or getting crosses into the box?
No, no,
Outside of that,
no, sorry, Bob. But you posed the question, and it leads us into this. So let me help Darcel CMF. Me no tech program. No man can program me, and no man can program my friend Andre. We will guide the conversation as we see fit. Nobody now go try bully me and bad mind me, not for talk certain things, right? I'm saying this. I asked a pertinent question because football is not a game like basketball where players take some time off. And the question has been asked in basketball. What has changed? Why does LeBron or other big name players have to have game management when Michael Jordan, Akeem Olajuwon, Patrick Ewing were there? They played every single game that they could of the season that they were fit. They never sat out games. You get what I'm saying, Andre? So in various sports, Babe Ruth and those guys in baseball, they never sat out games. But Judge for New York Yankees sits out games. It seems to be a new culture within sports overall. But I think it's a pertinent question. The question to ask, if we had won in Austria, would we still be having this conversation? And the answer is yes, because we are critical thinkers, sir. We are critical thinkers. So I'm saying that the signs were ominous, and we were down to when the coach said to us in the pregame that he only had 17 players. It should have gotten alarm bells ringing. So we began to have, and I say that to say, I am judging with the game through the lens that we had a couple of players playing in positions that they were unfamiliar. So we had a center back come right back in Latifa there playing in central midfield.
Qatar, I think you're receiving a call. A call that you.
I'm receiving a call?
Yeah, you should.
Oh, 7 calls. Oh. Okay. Go ahead. I'll pause and take the call.
Yeah. Yeah, I think some of this, the coach, I think the coach is clear about what the friendlies mean to him. I think it is clear that the national team, all of the players wasn't present. And I think for me, if I would not look at that performance yesterday and feel that Trinidad and Tobago is in a situation that we are closer to Jamaica. That game didn't suggest that. That game, there's a lot of players missing from that game. There's a lot of players missing from that game, and I think with those players in the team, whether the coach have 4 days, 5 days to get the team ready, I think you can expect a much better performance. If as a football person looking at the game, I wouldn't like how the goals were conceded. You would want a better performance in that regard, and wouldn't like losing either, because losing football matches as a coach, I'm sure is not a nice thing. But at the end of the day, he didn't get the results he's looking for, and he's quite clear that he will. It's more important when 3 points matter. So we'll wait and see. But looking at that game and looking at last night's performance with the game between Mexico and America, it's Jules is asking here, is Trinidad in camp? Yes, Trinidad is in camp in Florida. Trinidad is in camp in South Florida, and I believe there might be a practice game today or tomorrow or something like that. Yeah. So if I'm a Jamaican, I'm a Jamaican fan. I'm a fan of the Jamaican national team. I'm not concerned too much about yesterday's result, knowing the firepower that you have to come in to that squad. There's a lot of resources available to the coach, and I think he would put up the team would be more competitive against in the Gold Cup against the USA. It's always going to be a struggle when Jamaica play Trinidad. It's always going to be close. It's always going to be a difficult game for both teams. But I don't know. We'll wait and see. I would not be predicting anything. Trinidad roster was put out last night. Dorsel is asking, Know Yourself is asking, is it the same players that faced Jamaica the last time in camp now? The squad is different. The squad was put out yesterday. The squad is different, a lot different. There's a lot of players that play overseas that is now in the squad. Where's the squad? I've got the squad here somewhere. In Trinidad squad, they have, we weren't scheduled to discuss this today, but Aubrey David, as far as the defenders go, they have Aubrey David, Sheldon Batu, Leland Archer, Curry Moses, Shannon Gomez, Alvin Jones, Tristan Hodge. The goalkeepers are Marvin Phillip, Denzel Smith, and Nicholas Frendrup. In the midfield, that was selected Jovan Jones, Daniel Phillips, Ryan Telfer, Ajani Fortune, Kevin Molino, Real Gill, Neville Hackshaw, Andre Rampersad, Cale Aubrey, Molly Khan, Kadim Corbin, Levi Garcia, and Malcolm Shaw. And of that list of players, the squad that came to Jamaica the last time, there was a lot of local players there. In this particular squad, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, you have 16 of the 23-man squad playing overseas in some capacity, whether it's in Europe or USA or in Canada. So the squad is different. The squad is a different squad. So like like Jamaica, we'd see the game would be an interesting one. Know yourself is acting better players in your opinion. Are you asking about if there are better players in the Trinidad squad? The squad resembles the squad that went to Asia about a year ago and performed, and I thought that was a good squad. I think that this is a very good squad. I think it's probably, with the exception of one or two players that we know, that I think, in my opinion, you asked me about my opinion, that I think could make the team better. That's not there right now. They, for whatever reason, they're not available. Maybe it's injury or what. I think it's a very good squad the coach selected. It seems Vinsky is saying, it seems if we are panicking as fans, we have unrealistic expectation. Yes, we have players that are very good. However, we have to give the process time. I agree with that statement. But a lot of work. I can see why the fans are anxious. I can see why the fans are anxious, but you're right. The process needs time, and I think the coach, in my opinion, from what I've heard, whenever he speaks, he seemed pretty level-headed. Big D Len is asking, TNT get a new player? I'm not so sure. There's a striker that was added to the squad. I think they knew about him a while. Malcolm Shaw, I think is his name. I think they knew about him a while, and he's just been added to the squad. That's about the only person that I think would be considered a new player. You'd like to see the roster, is what, Drew, is that what you're asking, to see the roster with the clubs that they play for? Let me see if we can get this on here for you, or I can read it out to you. But just give me a minute. Let me try to get it on here. The way it was done, it's not on one page. Let me see if we can get that on here. Okay, we might be making some progress. Just bear with me here for a minute. Like Cataract jumped the gun on me here. Okay, let me see. Okay.
I'm back.
You're back. Cataract is back. I'm trying. Somebody asked about the Trinidad squad.
Yes. So you were dealing with Trinidad.
Yeah, and I'm trying to see if I could if I can get it up on the screen.
Okay. So while you do that, I get back to where I was.
Yeah.
Lots of important information coming in. So here is the thing. As I said before, the signs were ominous. Now, I had posed the question before about what if we had qualified for the Nations League. And what I'm being made to understand is that the players would have to make a choice, because the club and their medical staff would not have permitted them to play in back-to-back tournaments, having come off a long extended periods, a season. And that is what's facing the United States, why they had to name two different squads. Although I suspect that if they make it into the finals, and some players are injured, they would be able to call on some of the big name players, so that their biometrics and the medical staff that monitors the players and their fitness and their physical development would have to come in, because when they leave the Gold Cup, they then go on to into preseason. So they're really without a break. You know.
Yeah, and that's very hard on the players. That's very, very difficult to ask the players. I mean, we got to remember that they're not machines, right?
Yes.
They're not machines, and they're going. Sometimes there's no time to train in between games. Um, they're constantly going from game to game, playing a game every 3 or 4 days. When you look at the recovery time, it could take as much as 96 hours, but generally we're speaking about 72 hours to get back to the level that players need to be able to compete.
Right.
Let me try to see if I can.
So while you do that, I'm going to. I'm not going to duck from any questions, and I'm going to say this. So my overall assessment of the grade that I would give the team performance is 4 out of 10.
4 to 10.
Yeah.
That's rough.
It's rough because at no point did we look like we were going to win the game. We were disjointed. There are major areas in the game that I had concern about. Yes, Dorsey, but you can't bring in a whole.
Remember, the coach gave it 5.5.
Right. So the coach gave it 5.5, and Cataract is giving it 4. Because my name is not Jaime Halgrimson, and I'm not a parrot. I don't repeat what people say. I give my
Cataract, the oligarch,
and the top
King Cataract.
You understand? So I am giving them a 4. And I'm first, let us involve the man them in a chat. Boom. People.
Let me share the roster so we can get past that, because this was not supposed to be about Trinidad. But let me try to share it here real quick. Where is it?
Morning, John Spence. Morning, Sure Improvement. Morning to all the ladies. Big up the man them. Big up to all the man them. Big up to the nice, the beautiful Jamaican ladies.
Okay. So could we see that?
Is that a squad or is that?
No, this is the goalkeepers. The way it was produced, it has to be shown like this in 3 different parts. But
why does the Trinidad squad look like a kindergarten child art project?
Here, what I noticed: anytime Trinidad is mentioned, you seem to go into meltdown. It seems as though you start to panic.
People,
right?
Hold on.
And somebody in the chat was just saying that like the fan base panicking. But I noticed that about you a long time. So I just have to. You just almost seem to start to melt when Trinidad is mentioned.
Improvement. Yeah, it's coming like one party invitation.
I don't know.
TNT FA.
But these are the people.
Got your squad. No man.
And the clubs that they play for.
Name them out in the squad. I'm gonna mute my mic and allow you to go ahead, because this is important information.
Marvin Phillip, of course, and Denzel Smith playing Trinidad with the AC Port of Spain, and Nicholas Friendrup, who I think has shown to be a good quality goalkeeper. He plays in Europe. Okay,
so that's in Europe where?
I think this club is in. Hold on a minute. I'm sure you're seeing that, right? Ranheim.
We'd never heard that club there before.
I know you would see that. But guess what?
Why they can't play for some club like West Ham? Fulham.
But you don't follow Norwegian football. You don't
Manchester,
follow Norwegian football.
I follow Europe.
No, yeah, but you don't follow Norwegian football. So you probably would know.
Why they can't play for some side where
let me say this to you. This may have less to do with the club that he's playing for, and may have more to do with your knowledge of football in Europe.
Dr. Steady says I want church side. Go ahead, sir. So is he is he well versed? Because I noticed somebody there had 81 caps, and the second goalkeeper had 1 cap.
Yeah,
And
Marvin Phillips has been with the national team a very long time.
yeah, so
A very long time.
So this guy, this keeper in Europe, is he well versed at bending over and taking up the ball out the back of the net?
He will not have any problem with that in CONCACAF. Not anything more than usual. So trust me when I tell you that. Okay, so let's look at the defenders. You have Aubrey David, who has 72 caps, who plays. It is very, very small. In Costa Rica, you have
it's
Sheldon
a very,
Batou.
very small team.
In Belgium, Leland Archer plays for Charleston Battery in the USL. Curry Moses, his club is in Finland. Shannon Gomez plays in the USL for San Antonio. Is a USL champion. Alvin Jones for Club Sando in Trinidad, and Tristan Hodge for Hartford in the USL. Are you scared yet?
Why are the pictures of the fans on the Trinidad poster fans in cricket?
I can't tell you anything about.
Go ahead.
About the poster. I didn't create it. It just arrived in my phone yesterday. Okay. Then we have Joven Jones, who used to be here in the MLS, who now plays back home for Police FC. We have Daniel
Decent player. So he's a policeman?
He just recently joined the Police team. I'm not sure if he played for the team as a player or if he has become a police officer.
Okay.
Right. We have Ryan Telfer, who plays for Miami FC. We have Ajani Fortune, who plays for Atlanta United. Kevin Molino, a veteran in the team, plays for Columbus Crew.
Nearly a goal every other game.
Say that again, please.
Nearly. No, not even that. But a good goal to game ratio.
Yeah. Kevin Molino is a veteran in the team. Real Gill.
How old is he?
Kevin is about 30, I think. Yes, Kevin is about 30.
Okay.
Kevin is up there, but he still produces. You have Real Gill, who played for Club Sando in Trinidad. Neval Hackshaw for Oakland Roots in the USL. Andre Rampersad in Canada for Halifax Wanderers. Cale Aubrey. You have Malik Khan for Minnesota United. Kadeem Corbin for La Hocata Rangers, playing Trinidad in the TTPFL. Levi Garcia for AEK Athens, and Malcolm Shaw for Atletico Ottawa.
Finally, a team that we know.
Finally, a team that you know.
AEK
so you don't know Atlanta United? You don't know Columbus Crew?
I do not watch MLS football.
But that's what I'm saying.
You would have heard me say this ad nauseum.
Yeah, and I would encourage.
And St. Johnston. That's in Spain.
And
that's in Scotland. That's the Scottish.
Yeah. So here what I would encourage you to start to watch. To diversify and watch football from various places.
I don't have any time.
Yeah. Do you watch the JPL?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
And I watch the English Premier League. But now I'm going to have to watch the Premier League and the Championship because Leeds are back in the Championship.
Yeah.
And there are a few Jamaicans playing in Europe, so I'll have to watch the European competition.
Yeah. Yes.
But you don't have those troubles, so you can watch MLS because you don't have the pressure of having to watch a Trinidad player in the European club championships. You really don't. You've got time on your hands. We're
That's
busy.
a good one.
Leon Bailey. No, sir. Leon Bailey will be in the Europa League. Michael Antonio would be in the conference league as the champions. You know what I mean? It's a busy time to be a reggae boy supporter. You know.
The thing is, and this is where my concern step in. I have to talk to management. We have to come up with a plan. So just in case so that we can get you through the summer, through the Gold Cup, just in case things don't go as you expect or would like, because with a 2-1 loss in a friendly, and you are and you're already having meltdown, right? To a team that has no relation, right? A team you shouldn't worry about at all. I don't understand why you're behaving like this. But to Duckland Senate, yes, the answer yes, he's a relative.
So
It's actually my son.
So it's nepotism.
No, no nepotism. It's quality. It's quality.
Hold up. No. Hold up. First of all, I've gotten an energy bar because my goodly ladies who are here, they heard that you say you're having a meltdown, so they've got me an energy bar. So I'm gonna bite it.
I'm glad I was able to contribute to you getting some to eat.
But I'm going to call out the hypocrisy of the man there. Right? I'm going to call out the hypocrisy of the man. Anytime you mention Anthony, yeah, about that about the family, yeah. And then everybody gives Andre a pass when Phil Pickney, they in high squad. I was
just answering a question that was asked. I didn't put it out there. So they're not giving me a pass.
New Wave Entertainment. Strikers and midfielders are included in this.
Yeah, the roster that's the way it was put together. But this is a good squad. So somebody was asking about I think this is a good squad. I think this squad can and will be competitive. The coach is a fighter. You know, he expect from the players exactly what he expect the players to approach the game in the same way that that he played the game, you know, with a lot of heart and commitment. So we'd see. I'm always, my experience in football suggests that you have to wait. You have to wait until the players until the game is played. You have to wait. You can't jump ahead. But to the point that you were making earlier, and the load that players get put on throughout the course of the season and everything else, these tournaments, you add these tournaments to what they do, and it becomes very, very difficult. So I think it makes sense. It makes sense that that they be allowed some time to recover, because it's not just physical. They also get very, very. There's the mental aspect of it as well. There's the mental aspect of it. Thanks, Duckland, for the comments. I didn't want to put that one out there.
No, I'm going to come to that comment. What position does your son play?
He's a midfielder.
Where in the midfield, sir?
He could play anywhere in the midfield, 8, 6, 10.
Bobby Reed, bust him salad. Bobby Reed, I'm calling you out. Shift him and bust him salad and shoot one of them long range shot there. Please.
Yeah, before you start getting Bobby Reed advice, you might need to go and look and see what he has to offer. Your advice might change. I don't know. You might tell him, hey, you don't have to worry about him.
Bobby Reed. Daniel Johnson.
And I have two that plays for Trinidad, eh?
You have 2?
Yeah.
Do you know that we have a man, Soji, who has 18?
I was listening to that the other night. I was listening to that. it took me some days. I thought about that for days. Is 18? Was he being funny? Was he messing about? Does he really have 18
Yes,
18 children?
and he says by the time he visits Jamaica
He
this
will have
summer,
two more, right?
he'll have 20.
He said the 18 is by 17 different. They have 17 different
Yes.
mothers. I remember hearing that. That was quite interesting. So let's get back to the football. Let's get back to the football.
Well, everything is football.
Yeah.
Because when we talk about baby making, what is this thing with Jamaican players and making babies right before a tournament? Congratulations, Ethan Pinnock. Congratulations. Before the last Gold Cup, who didn't have a baby before the last Gold Cup? Somebody didn't have a youth. Oh, it's Jamal Lowe? Yes, I think it was Jamal Lowe. Jamal Lowe? Jamaican players at Gold Cups equal babies. You know what I mean? But congratulations, Ethan Pinnock, on the impending birth or the birth of your if it's the birth is a daughter, you know what I mean? But the birth of your child. Big up yourself.
You need to tell the JFF about him or her. You know, you keep the database. So let's talk a little bit because I told management that I've got to jet off just now. Let's talk about the game last night. You say you didn't see the game.
Okay. No, I saw the game. I watched. The USA game.
Yeah,
I thought. How do you want to do it? The USA game. Let's
finish with the Jamaican game.
No, we hadn't finished with the Jamaican game. I said overall a 4. I was asking you I was asking the man them.
Yeah, what they rate the game.
The man them in the chat, give me your rating out of 10 of the overall performance of the game before we get to talking about USA and Mexico. We're gonna do this, chop this up quick and fast, 2 hours funded up.
Yeah, I think the game was lost. I don't think I'd put the game at a 4. I think like the coach said a 5.5. I would cut it in 2. I'd say 5. I'd give the team a 5 yesterday.
5.
Yeah.
I see Vinsky agreeing with you. 5. Tyrone Williams said 4.5. Siobhan said 4.5 for the first half and 7 for the second half.
The second half certainly was better.
Man saying man is emotional. Man can rate the squad any way I feel like rate my squad. If you're giving a 5, just give it a 5 and move on, brother. Today is not the day to ramp with me. When Jamaica loses, it's not the day to ramp with me. Man will get very disrespectful and dark up in here. Mr. Revolution said 3. Lee said 4. Reds Crossing says 5.5. They had a better second half. And I'm going to ask you, Red Crossing and Siobhan, the man them who spoke about the second half, tell me what changed in the second half that made it better. Colin Quest says Jamaica 3.
Yeah, I would like to know a little bit about why he said is a 3.
Right. Eager Republic says 4.75. Duckland Steady said 6. I think we actually dominated Qatar.
Did Mr. United mean to say -5?
Duckland Steady, I'm asking you, please stop watching the football games on your transistor radio. Reno FC said 3. Vinsky said defense need tightening up. Mr. United said 5. For live up side, I think he means a pickup side. 5.5. New Wave says 4. Phillips really came in and provided a spark. I have a whole different opinion on that. Yeah. So the reason why I gave it 4 is because I thought we never got out of the blocks and came to the races. There was a whole disjointing between the midfield and the attack, between the defense and the midfield at times. And there are bad habits in the Jamaica team that keep repeating themselves.
But look,
So
take,
Jones
take,
Spence says 4.
take into consideration this, and I'm sure if you take this into consideration, you might change your score. The team left on Sunday last week, I believe, and arrived. And normally when they go to Europe, they would have arrived on Monday. That's a reasonable. I don't know that as a fact, but that is what normally would happen. You would arrive the day after you fly overnight. So let's assume they arrive on Monday. They're in Austria. That's a 7-hour time difference. Okay, to get prepared to play on Thursday. Right. So they basically had about 3 days. What would the coach do on Tuesday? Right. He's probably going to do some type of activation session or something like that. They didn't have much time to work. Right.
They had the regular time. 3 days before a match is what you
Right,
get in the international window.
but 3 days before a match, a lot of times, look, I think the team will have a better performance on Monday.
Yes, but Jordan is a lower ranked opposition. So put that in perspective. So,
but somebody has to win the game. The game has to play. So you would rather Jordan get a result, or you'd rather Jamaica get a result?
So what I'm saying to you is that I'm not buying any of your excuses.
I'm not making excuses. It's Jamaica we're talking about. I'm not making excuses.
I think you forget that. So, overall, so that's my overall thing. Now, I'm going to break it down and tell you some of where my concerns come from. And I'm going to start from in the goal. And I'm going to go through my player ratings very quickly. The ratings of players is the purview and sole viewpoint of Qatar, the head of the Jamaican Ultras, who go everywhere to watch the team. They're not the views of Manning's Man and I Am Sure Sports. They're certainly not the views of my Trini brethren to my left or right.
But you're right.
Look at it. However, they are my views. So nobody no run go say Manning's Man rate this player that. So let me start with the positives. Who would be your man of the match? Who would be your man of the match? People, name your man of the match.
Look, Drew Russell. Look at.
No, man. We're gonna go to the keeper. I saw the comment, Drew Ross. I'm going to respect your comment when I come to get the ratings. Who was your man of the match? People, who was your man of the match? Come, man. Look at do this quick and fast, man. No, itching. From a Trinidad perspective, looking on, who was your man of the match?
Who was playing in the 6th position? What's his name?
Joel Latiba there, or what number he had on?
Can't remember his number now.
The box are the
tall, he was playing in 6. Tall guy,
John Russell.
I don't think he was bad yesterday.
That's who was the man of the match. We didn't ask who was the average.
My rapper was good too.
For Jamaica, Biru Golden for Jamaica. Who was the man of the match for Jamaica? Dorsrell CMF says Maps. Vinsky said Lati Badir. Juras is upset. Saying no one from Jamaica. Joel Lati Badir. So keep the things coming, man. The 6 was Russell.
The 6 was Russell.
Reno. So my man of the match. It's 2 players that would be in my contention, and nobody in the clip with 2 figure would just go up a while ago.
But hold on. You were just talking about bullying. You're just telling the people in the comment section, the people who is taking the time to be here. You just told me, you asked me, you want the man of the match. You don't want 2 names. And now
No,
you
no, 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 no,
offering
no,
to provide two
no, no,
names.
no. I'm not offering to provide. You have not named the man of the match. You
I
just
did.
confused.
I said Mariappa.
Oh, you said Mariappa, but then you were
Yeah.
telling me about it. Okay. Oh,
Right.
sorry, I
I
didn't
asked
hear.
you
My
about
apologies.
was
My,
I
my
thought you
apologies.
said,
My
okay.
apologies. I didn't hear. Adrian Mariappa, you're
So
right.
we want your man of the match.
Okay. So I'm gonna get there. People know that I'm long-winded. You know what I mean? People know that I'm long-winded. Yes, Siobhan Pierce. So it's international badness. Joel Latiba there and Amari Bell. Those would be the two players who would be. And I would have to say Joel Latiba there. Joel Latiba there. Welcome to Jamrock.
So what about the goal scorer?
The less said, the better. Joel Latiba there. Welcome to Jamrock. The camp where the man them camp at. So
It's probably difficult to play for Jamaica.
So Latiba there, and somebody says whisper. So I'm going to break it down. So let me give you my player ratings, and you can give your player ratings. But I'm going to draw out the thing. Man them and ladies, I'm going to just participate and nice up it thing. Thank you for those who have said. Tennessee Lewis says Latiba there. Colin Quest says none poor. King and the goalkeeper. They assist 2 goals.
New
Easy
whisper.
said Latiba there. Latiba there, I forget her name. Twani, you might forget her name.
Lati.
No, that sounds like a Trinidadian. So we're not calling him Lati. Right. But I'll tell you, Douglas Steady said Shaman Nicholson.
Douglas Turkey said Lati.
Douglas Steady.
Look.
Come in at this thing here. Douglas, people, me tell you to say, Douglas Steady watch the game on a transistor radio or on a little Canon pictures camera where you have. He love come and stay there with a big expensive camera. When we are throw up the white rum in our ear, the man say, oh, remember my camera, you know? Remember my camera. Yeah. I'm going to wet up your camera. Because it look like a camera now, show right. Duckland Steady people said Shamar Nicholson was the man of the match. So, Mr. Man, we'll get to everybody. B. Douglas says Whisper. Reno FC says Dujon Richards Whisper. Lee says Latiba there. Jones Spence says Latiba there. Latiba there. So, many agreeing with me. So, let's start from the goalkeeper. Jamali Wait. How would you rate him out of 10? People, drop on the score. Jamali Wait, out of 10. Andre?
Look, I think everybody, if we rate the team in the team performance, I said I think it was a 5. I don't think that anybody will go beyond that, really. I think anything the man of the match, you probably would go.
I'm asking you about the keeper.
I'll give the keeper a 6. I'll give the keeper a 6. I don't agree with the comment earlier. I removed it not because I don't agree with it, but I put up Stan Concrete stuff. But the statement that the keeper shouldn't be beaten at the first post. That in my opinion, that was a quality finish. He went first post and he went first post in the air. I think that'll beat any goalkeeper. Most goalkeepers that would beat. So okay. I wouldn't blame the goalkeeper for that.
So there we go. Mr. United said 5 out of 10. Lee says 4 out of 10 for the goalkeeper. Wait, 7. Stan Kroenke said that. Something must be wrong with his Wi-Fi, or he doesn't understand Arabic. Know Yourself says 5. Drew Ross says 0. Vinsky says 5. Drew Golden says 4. We're going through. Reds Cross, it says 6.5. Distribution was good. Michael Woodburn, who is supposedly an ultra, is just rating somebody else. I don't know. Duras again. 20 says 5, 2, and I am saying
3.
And my 3 out of 10 is really for his distribution. I cannot believe that this is the same keeper that I saw in Mexico and against Trinidad. It looked like 2 different human beings.
Well, you must ask yourself why.
And we can break it down. It look and that I'm going to ask the why, because that applied to at least 2 other players, right?
Yeah, I think we often would not know until after the fact, but what the preparation was like or what condition this player was in. Yes, he's a footballer and he's expected to perform. That's fair, but I don't know that. Well, I didn't give him a 5. I give him a 6. So that means I don't agree with a 3.
Mr. Special Edition gave him a 7.
Because remember this, you are not judging him based on the Mexico game.
You're judging
Right,
him based
you're
on
judging
this
him
game.
based on the Qatar game.
Yeah.
And you still believe he gets a 3.
3. Yeah, because I believe in the Mexico game he was outstanding. So I can't believe it's the same player. And I don't understand why he wasn't substituted. So we could have seen what Kanaya Boyce Clark would have brought to the table. So,
but the coach said there's only 2 players didn't play, right?
Yeah, Brandon Cover and Boyce Clark. Julian Leckman says 6. There we go. So I think we have it. Mr. Special Edition says 5. So we have it. Can't be beaten at your near post. Even though it was a quality finish, you have to protect your near post. On the second goal, he was let down by his defenders. But overall, there was also a one that hit the bar. Hit the upright that he was beaten all ends up. His distribution, yes, certainly was an improvement on what we would normally see from Andre Brake with those long, aimless kicks. So that's really why I gave him the 3. Moving on. At left back, Amari Bell.
Amari Bell. I'd say a 5.5.
Amari Bell for me was one of the 2 standout players. I would say 6.5. Sevens coming in from Lee Red Crossing, 8 from Mr. Special Edition, 6.5 from Juras. I'm going to change that to a 7 actually for Amari Bell. 7. 7. Amzo. Dorsel. Dorsel. What are you doing? Are you doing integration or some mathematical function? The man's at 5.3. Dorsel. Tell me what the 0.3 is for. Is the 0.3 for qualifying for the Premier League? Jones Spencer 7. D.A. Johnson. See you in St. Louis, Missouri. The bell didn't ring that much, 6, but you saw Samar's bell ringing. Julian Lakeman says 8. Amzo says 6 for Bell. Reno FC says 7 for Bell. Yeah, man. 90 minutes, gave it his all. Here is a player who never turns down Jamaica, shows up when called upon. He's one of those players, I believe, who loves playing for the Reggae Boys. The man from Barbican in St. Andrew, uptown Barbican in family. Barbican big up, old Castleites, Russellites, the whole Barbican, you know what I mean? East Kings House, get to the whole Barbican, big up. This is the most humble youth, quiet spoken. Every time we link him, ready for take a photo. I just rate this player as a human being and as a player. He started off against the USA game and against Suriname having a torrid time, but he has grown in stature, both as a club player and an international player. So big up Amari Bell, Sevens, Shadow Strike, Section 231 at Soldier Field. Section 231 at Soldier Field. Get on a ticket. And that's what the ultras them are got there. I hear me make a link for getting White Rum. But tell the Jamaicans work everywhere, you know. Yeah, man. So White Rum will be on board. I want to inform, I go tell the feds. Paper, Section 231. No, I'm saying how he speaks when he's interviewed. He always shows up for Jamaica. He never has an excuse or a complaint. We remember that this is one player who the JFF committed an atrocity against him, right? We won't speak about that, but this youth, ever humble youth, ever humble, not hype to him thing. And I can't wait for him to go into the Premier League, and I hope he gives a good account for himself. You know what I mean? Section 231. 231. Where you do over 309, brother? The man them choose the place where have the cheapest ticket. Neo Sovereign and him friend them choose the cheapest ticket them in a whole Soldier Field. But, you know, the oligarch always they are offline right at the ground level. But the man choose. Brother, you can't listen to Simon a journalist, dog. Yeah, or you for float management. Or if you want to know where to go, and you know check it ultra, the top man. 231. And that's how we think there. Forward up there, so yeah. Any Uncle Sam will come in at that section, they were running away. A strictly yellow in a 231. Not choppiness. Not choppiness. What you mean, Twani? We are going to a Jamaican restaurant before, and we are there in a parking lot. We are there at the team hotel. We are do this thing. Brawling in a shy town. Brawling. Float management. What you mean you don't know so where you go? You feel so we are one of them keyboard fan there? Andre look like a keyboard fan? Cataract look like a keyboard fan? Beg, steal, borrow, and swim. Banana boat any which way. Jump over the wall of Mexico. Me have to do that. Yeah, man. 231. Big up 20. The whole of it, man, from section 1 to section 10 done buy out already. So, all section 11 and section 12. Brother, you're coming out of section. You're forward in a section. No man can't tell us you can't do up there. You see what I say? That's how our thing come down. No red to 231. No red to 231. Strictly yellow. All right. Good. The centre-back pairing. Adrian Mariappa. What's the score for Adrian Mariappa? Let's do this quickly. Won't be distracted again. Adrian Mariappa, I think
I'll give him a 6.
A solid 6. Solid 6.
Yeah.
The veteran captained the team and he played a captain's role. Didn't make any mistakes, but the second goal was a whole defensive shambles, and therefore the captain should have been talking in the defense, in my opinion. And he should also have spoken very strongly to Richard King about those aimless long passes. You know what I mean? Reno FC, yellow. We know we're black. We're not going to a funeral. But I want the man to guide the people. Brother, if a man coming at 231 without a yellow jersey, a yellow Ganzi, a yellow Marina, we are chuck you over and put you out. Remember me tell you, can't sit down there if you're not wear yellow. Big man thing. Not choppiness. Man come like him and go a black tie ball about him in a black. Our funeral you come? Oh. Ready. It's counting down. It's counting down. It's counting down.
Let's do the ratings.
Richard King. So a lot of sevens for Maps, a lot of sixes. Reno says 5. You know what I mean? Nothing good, nothing bad. It was a sure. And 20, yeah, 2 goals past. He should have been talking. Michael, you don't tell me if you have come through yet in a bad man. You have to come through bad, bro. Richard King, a solid 3. And one of that is for singing the national anthem. Tyrell Sr. driving 12 hours for the game. Tyrell, they have something named, they have an invention named the aeroplane in a Tyrell. They are sitting the aeroplane. You're going to drive 12 hours, come my game and drive 12 hours, go back. Big up yourself, Ultra.
Correct.
3 for Richard King, 4 for Byru Golden, 4 for Mr. Man. Colin Quest, give him 0. And the thing about the long passes from Richard King, he was under no pressure. He was not being hurried. My man stood on the ball, looked around, and said, hey, Latibadir, I don't like no man with ear blonde. So if you have something against man with ear blonde, that can be the only reason why I would think Richard King was playing how he played. He just chose to bypass or him the like brown man. Me not understand. The man now pass the ball to John Russell. The man now pass the ball to Joel Latibadir. No time at all.
Get an ease up on them cataract.
If they not ease up. And the people them not ease up. Zaba HD, you saw that one too, where Joel was asking for the ball and he ignored them. You know what I mean?
Look, to get 6 points, out of the group and ease up. The coach man said that he is preparing for the Gold Cup. I think you should give him and the players the opportunity. Look, we know rate him at 2.
The people we not ease up. And these ratings are the ratings of the ultras and the man them who come every day and not have man's man. But not take nothing about it. Richard King, Uganda, Iceland, brother, step up your game. If that's the coach's instructions, follow the coach's instructions. Don't listen to Cataract. Don't listen to Drew Fortis. Don't listen to Reno. Just keep your long ball them going. But I am sure that I heard the coach get upset about the long balls in the Trinidad game. I am sure I heard him speak about it, that's not what he instructed. Right back. Dexter Lembekisi. Dexter, I have to take in context that you're a teenage player and you're transitioning, having come around the under-20 team, not going to the under-20 World Cup. And there was no support for you, as Lee is saying. But Dexter is the second player that I wondered if this is the same player that I saw in Mexico. Andre, you would recall that I said when I spoke about the keeper that there were players that I wondered if these are the same players.
Right. Yeah.
So Dexter, I thought had a poor game, but I thought it was exposed a lot by not having the support from the winger on his side tracking back. Well, but also, let me finish. Also, I don't think he was victim because I think Joel Latibadir doesn't fully understand the CDM role, because part of the CDM role sometimes is to go and cover for help to give coverage.
So let me ask you a question. I think everybody, including the coach, most importantly, said it was not a good performance. He was disappointed. Fair? Is that what he said? He was disappointed in performance.
Bad result, bad performance.
Right, bad result. Bad. How many of these players, I think, is a better exercise? How many of these players do you think is going to make it into the final roster?
You are not going to short circuit my exercise, and that question will be answered. And whoever tell you said that, we have to talk. Listen, whatever we are saying. Hold on. No, I'm saying whatever we are saying here is what people are saying in the bars in Jamaica. It's what the man them in the comments are saying. There is no dissonance. We all saw the game and the performance.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But we have to also listen to the coach who has been there for the past 4 days.
Poor performance, poor result.
Right. So now as fans, we want to see a good team. We also know that there's a embarrassment of riches in terms of as it relates to CONCACAF, in terms of players that we have. You probably have a gooder squad to choose from as the USA or Canada and Mexico in terms of available players.
Okay.
Right? So you know that
you are derailing the player ratings.
All right, go ahead.
You are derailing it. And you said
that was not
us,
my intent.
You said us fans. You are not a fan of the Reggae Boys. You are my rival.
Whenever the Reggae Boys play, except for when they play Trinidad.
That's why we lose. Can you cheer for yesterday? Reggie, there's a song that says, keep your ear. Better keep your support. Me know why you support my team.
All right. Okay.
Don't support my team.
I need at least 3 people to say that. Right now, you're the only one saying that.
Okay. So let's move on. Somebody made a point to say that Joel wasn't playing CDM, but when you play a double pivot, you are part of the central midfield, right? You're part of the central midfield, and you are correct. He was playing box to box. Rob Smith, you're 100,000% correct. So I should say he was part of the central midfield setup. He's taking the role that Speedy would have played when Speedy was playing alongside Grant. All right, so you are correct, Brethren. You know what I mean? B. Douglas says players gonna have off days, but B. Douglas, I'm asking you why so many players had off days at the same time. I want to ask you that. Why so many players had off games at the same time? Let's get the player ratings for central midfield. Joel Latibadir, what's the rating for Joel? My rating is a 7.
6.5.
And I give him a 7 in the context that I thought he was the man of the match. He has never played in his career CDM before, and I thought he did a creditable job in central midfield. Right? He's never played central midfield before. He had a little issues with his keeping the shape, but he was always making himself available to get the ball. Richard King does not see players who have a blonde hair, so he bypassed him. But when Deshaun Bernard came on in the second half, a lot of the plays went through, and Maps sent a lot of the balls, his passes through him. So Joel 7. You know what I mean?
Thank you. Ian is appreciating my support.
Ian, he does not have anybody of Jamaican heritage that need passport. You do not need to be nice to Andre. Colin Quest said Latiba there 8. Colin Quest, drop a comment and explain that one there. And Julian, explain the 8 for me. Right? Reno says 6. Mr. Edition says 6. Rated 6. He needs to tone down on the aggression. Eagle Republic, I don't agree with you. You have to have some bite in the center of the midfield. And he's showing me signs that he could be an enforcer. Me never deal with no man pagan, so I can't left him.
Easy, Qatar.
What will I do if Trinidad beat us on the 28th?
Yeah, we have to put something in place. I think I'll have to get with the stadium people and put something in place.
Did you go to school?
We have to put something in place.
Blake Hilton says 5.5. Blake Hilton, explain the 5.5 there for Joel Latibedier. But can't agree with that. Stan Kroenke said he didn't see. No, he didn't have any incisive true passes, Stan. But what he did was the simple passes, which is what is required of the CDM. Tell me how you get the 5.5, Blake. Give me a rationale. Avis Williams, is that a lady? Avis, Lady Avis. Yes, I would love to see him at the right back position. I thought a change that could have been was that Brandon Cover would have come off, Dexter be replaced, and Joel slot into his familiar right back role. But that didn't happen. Clayton Mirage says, you have my support. Trinidad. You can't play reggae dancehall on a steel pan. We don't need your support. Do not support my team.
We are very creative in Trinidad. You would like to hear, if you would enjoy hearing reggae being played on a steel pan. You would enjoy that. It would be marvelous.
A Pagan 180, and I want to ask him on him. When you saw Joel play, something popped in my head. I could see why he was the captain of the England under-17 team that lifted the World Cup. If Trinidad beats Jamaica, I will give you 100 Jamaican wives.
100?
100.
Attack. Are you finished with the player ratings? Listen,
No.
Okay. I remember I said earlier I have to leave. I've not gone 30 minutes over.
No, about 2 hours, man. Come in. John Russell. What's your
No, I have to leave in 5 minutes for real.
Yeah, but we will keep it going. We will keep it going.
You keep it going?
Yeah, man. We keep it going. We'll just make you know when to lock it off. You know.
Right.
Cool. Joel, and I'll be quick. John Russell. What's the ratings for John Russell? J. Russ, I'm gonna have to find out about Wes Hardy. I'd love to find out about Wes Hardy. Stan Kroenke said AI wives. People. John Russell. John Russell for me gets a 4.5 to 5. Okay.
Why you rate Russell so low?
5.
Okay, yeah, we can live with that.
5. 4.5, 5. You know what I mean?
I don't think
still I look upon him.
5 is suggesting he was below average.
No, man, that's average. That's average as a CDM. That's not regular sitting. He wasn't making himself available to collect the ball as Latibedier was. That would have been my critique about him.
So
he was beaten a little too easily when Qatar decided to come through the middle.
Yeah, but you remember you were just talking about some defenders that were kicking the ball long, like King. You mentioned King, right? So is it he wasn't making himself available? Is the ball?
Yeah, I just said that he was not making himself available. And again, another player, but his performance was not as subpar as others. But you wondered, is this the same player that I saw in the cameo? But I did warn Mandem that from my knowledge of John Russell, he does not start many games and doesn't play many 90 minutes. So I am still have my jury out on him, but I'm still willing to give him another chance. I'm still willing to give him another look. You know, I'm gonna see if he is really the heir apparent to Anthony Grant. I'm willing to keep giving him a look. I'm not writing him off at all. Not writing him off at all.
You have to go easy on him, though.
No, I'm not writing. I said it's a average performance. What was CDM? Colin Quest gave Russell a 7. Tell me more about that 7 there, Russell. Tell me more about that 7. Now, I want some people to answer me this because I was confused when I saw the lineup and when I saw the play. Was Kaheem Paris playing in midfield as a cam? Was Kaheem Paris playing in midfield as a cam? Ricardo Baggio. No, I'm not ready for that shit, man. Rob Smith says, so let's go on. Kaim Paris. What's your rating of Kaim Paris, Andre? So who played the cam? That was the question. Who played the cam? That's the great mystery.
5.5.
Kaim Paris, 5.5. 5. Kaim Paris, 4. Was it in the game? And I didn't. We didn't play a cam. We played 4-2-2-2. Choo. So he played 4-2-4.
It looked to me like you played a 4-4-2 in possession, and when you were out of possession, it looked
So
like
you say that he played left midfield and Whisper played right midfield? I didn't think he impacted the game. And you certainly didn't see him tracking back. But I wasn't harsh on him for tracking back because I thought he was playing calm. You know what I mean? But I didn't see a player playing for Dynamo Kiev, one of the better teams in Europe. Sorry. I couldn't identify him that here is outside of Shamar, he would be playing for the highest level club, the second highest level club. You're muted, Andre.
Hold for a quick minute, okay?
Okay, good. So Jason Gouda, let me ask you, do you think he improved when Demario Phillips came on? Jason Gouda, that's to you. Did he improve when Demario Phillips came on? Was that the pivotal decision? And we move on. So on the other side, Whisper. What's our rating for Whisper? It look like every man frightened for rate Whisper. Dujon Richards. What's the rating for Dujon Richards? Okay, so I'm thinking Reno, is that 4 for Dujon Richards? Put the name of who you're giving the 4 and the 6 for. Dr. Steady said Whisper 7. Fabi Frano says 7.5. Pagan says 6. Reno and Red Cross will have to tell me if I whisper them I talk about Kaim Paris. Beru Golden. Just put the name of the player when you put the rating. Because some man like a slow up on the thing. Stan Cranky says Whisper would get a 6. And I am agreeing with Stan Cranky. I think for me, Whisper would have gotten about a 5.5 to a 6. He made 2 very key passes that Shamar Nicholson, I can't understand how you missed the goal, brother. So either you don't want Whisper forget assist. I don't understand how Shamar missed the goal there. I might have to go explain that to me. But I have to respect the fact that Whisper should have had 2 assists in that game. And Drew Fortis with his integration and square root business, 6.7. So what I'm saying is, if you're playing as a winger in modern football, you have to track back and assist with the defense, with the flank defense. You must do that. In international and club football, you will get no passes. No one will make any excuse for you. You know what I mean? So we're being critical. I believe that he still shows potential. Those who are on the bandwagon that he is the greatest thing since Pele and better than Andre Graham, Mikel Antonio, you're wrong. But I can see what the coach sees in him. Played for 90 minutes. Just keep improving, Dujon Richards. You will be one day the man and the savior of the Reggae Boys. You will be. I love how the coach is grooming him and taking him. And so I will take off no leather belt for Dujon Richards. I thought he tried. What I thought we saw is a player who has not played much professional football, big man football. But he certainly tried to hold his own.
Look, he's a young player. He's a young player with a lot of potential.
Yes.
A huge upside. He's still, like most players, still have stuff to learn.
Yes.
He's just 17 years old. So I think if it's me, I think sometimes we just have to temper our expectation of players and don't put them under too much pressure. He's heading into, as far as I heard, he's heading into a very good environment. So his future must, potentially would be a very good one. So I don't think too much criticism of him at this moment would do any good. I think the good thing for him right now is that he's committed himself to playing football. He's not thinking about, whether he's gonna go to college or do this or do that. His mind is made up. It seems that he want to play football, and he's gotten himself into a good situation. So I think he's going to be fine.
I'm agreeing with Stan Kroenke that at the current trajectory, at some point in the future, he will be the man. I pray that he stays injury free, and I pray that when he gets to Chelsea, we will see a meteoric rise as he is handled by pro-licensed coaches and professional medical, nutritional, fitness, physios, masseuses, that we will see a beast of a player in Dujon Richards, aka Whisper. We might have to change his name because film thing look like it. I got loud. You know what I mean?
You just made a very loaded statement, but I'm not going to follow up on that.
Who made a loaded statement?
Yeah.
That he's going to be loud?
No.
He's going to make a lot of noise.
He's going to be handled. Who is he going to be handled by?
The Chelsea environment.
Yeah.
When he becomes age 18, he will go to the Chelsea environment. I don't know if they're going to loan him out immediately, but there you go. Shaman Scott, big up yourself. Big up yourself. Respect due Shaman Scott. Real ultra them man. Real clean-hearted youth. Big up yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he says big up Cataract.
And the general.
Yeah.
Or is it Cataract the general?
No. And
I think the general.
That's a good one. Thank you.
Hold on. I know Barry Salmon have a song say, like to tell you the story about what one dance can do, but this is the story about what one word can do. Oh, one word can change the whole meaning.
The whole thing, my youth.
Sherman Scott, you lift my spirit, brother. Me a pen and a play pen. Me a pen and a play pen.
Hey, Sherman, that one should have come with a super sticker.
Yeah, man. And the people that will report the channel. Show Qatar and Andrew them on the channel and I fight the thing there. On a low and a little bad myself. Yeah. Make we go on through and live. No, Sherman, that one good. I have to take a moment and catch myself. We are at the forward line and Corey Burke.
Cataract, you wanna arrange to come back this evening?
I'm gonna let you give your two things at Corey Burke and that, and then we can come back this evening.
Yeah.
But let's do Corey Burke and Shamar, and then we're over and out. People, Corey Burke and Shamar, when they get a rating them together. Wap. Oh, Andre, Corey Burke, Shamar.
Corey Burke, Shamar. I look, Shamar scored the goal, right? He won the PK and he scored it, right?
We all saw that.
Yeah,
that's like telling me Weiss is right.
I think he is, for me, he's going to be a main threat, in my opinion, going forward. Based on yesterday's game, I think he has more to offer. I rate a little bit different to you. I see you have given people 7. The team performed at a 6. He got the goal. I think I'll give him a 6. The team performed at a 5, according to my rating. I'll give him a 6.
And Corey Burke?
What number is Corey Burke?
Exactly. He had on the number 9.
Corey Burke was the number 9. Yeah. I'll give Corey Burke a 5.
For what?
Burke, yes. B-U-R-K. Yeah, that's his last. Yeah.
B-U-R-K-E.
I gave him a 5.
Do you know what he even looks like?
Yeah, I know what he looks like. Now that you said this is the number 9.
In the game yesterday.
I picture him. Yeah.
Name me one thing that he did.
Look, he was out there. He worked hard. Right?
Apart from singing the national anthem.
No, he worked hard. He pressed when he needed to. Look, I mean, these guys are trying their best. They're not out there. Corey Burke or none of the players went out there not to perform. They all went out to perform. And it seemed as though I would think when you look at the performance of the team, the environment might have prevented some challenges to them. How many chances did he get? How many chances that was created for him? I don't think they created any. But I think he worked hard. He tried his best based on the circumstances. So he's get to score chances created by others, right? From the wingers, from the midfielders. And I can't remember him having a chance. I think the 3 chances all went to Shamar. Yeah. You know?
Shamar, the miss was criminal for me. So I found it difficult to look past it. But I believe that Shamar will be a starter at the Gold Cup. And he is our target man. I've seen some improvement from Dynamo Kiev, but those misses have me squeamish and takes me back to the Gold Cup in Orlando. Zaba HD, and you are absolutely correct. That tandem of Burke and Boza doesn't work. It doesn't work. You know what I mean? It does not work. I thought as the number 9, if you don't get a chance, I don't think they communicate well with each other. I don't think they no. And it was a poor showing up front.
But Qatar, I think you can't kill him. He could only.
No. I'm not killing him. I'm saying I think he's going to be a starter, And I would hope to see an improvement when he's playing alongside Mikel Antonio. But you can't. In international football, chances are at a premium. You can't become the Filippo Inzaghi for Jamaica.
He I think he did his best yesterday, but he also, you have Antonio coming in, so I don't know if him, Antonio, Shema, you have a lot of options there. So I wouldn't lose my mind. Let's thanks the guys in the comment section and
yeah, man. And the ladies. There are ladies in this comment section.
Yeah, and ladies and gentlemen, I'm 15 minutes past my
time. Thank you very much for indulging in us. Big up the ladies and plenty, man. We're there in the section. This has been I Am Sure Sports.
This has been Cataract and the General on I Am Sure Sports.
So people have named Shemar. So the show is called Cataract, the King and the General.
The King and the General.
Which means you take orders from me.
According to Jason, it's Cataract and the General. Love it.
But when it gets to this point, at the King and the General show, we say, God bless you. And we're over.
And out.
And out.
See you guys this evening. Take care, guys.